Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Austin Parry Show. I'm your host, Austin Parry, and today is Monday, July 26th, 2021, and this is episode 54 of The Austin Parry Show. Here on The Austin Parry Show is where we talk about current events, politics, culture, news, advanced technology, and aliens. And ladies and gentlemen, here on The Austin Parry Show is where we strive for expanded consciousness and enlightenment. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's broadcast here on episode 54. We have a very special, jam-packed episode. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to encourage everyone who is watching and listening to visit my website, which is austinparry.org, and that is AUSTINPARRY.org, austinparry.org. Check it out, take a look, give it a gander. I think you'll really like my website. It is a constantly evolving website. I am constantly updating it and changing it and making it better. And ladies and gentlemen, if you visit my website, that is where you can find all of my video content and also where you can find artwork for sale. I'm also an artist. I do paintings and illustrations, and you can find merchandise for sale. And ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, that is where you can leave a contribution to support the show. You can find the donation link on austinparry.org, leave a contribution that will really help me out, that will help to support my video content into the future. I am 100% supported by you, the viewers and the listeners, and I am just a grassroots patriot journalist. I am not funded by big tech or by big pharmaceutical companies or by big government. I am just supported by you, the viewers and the listeners, so thank you so much for your contributions. It really means a lot to me. And your donations are what is keeping me on the air. So ladies and gentlemen, go to austinparry.org, find the donation link, make a contribution, and I will be very grateful for that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into the information tonight here on the Austin Parry Show on this Monday, July 26, 2021, episode 54 edition, where we're going to discuss, analyze, and talk about different bits of information and research that I've found online. And so let's go ahead and go to the first slide here on the video monitor here behind me. And the first slide we have, this is the Skinwalker Ranch. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not heard of this Skinwalker Ranch, this is a property located in Utah, I believe. And this is where there have been many paranormal sightings, UFO sightings, and different alien creature sightings as well. And this has become very popular as of late. Just recently, within the last few years, a lot of people who study the paranormal, who study ufology, have been talking about this. And this is kind of like the new Area 51. So the Skinwalker Ranch, this is the Wikipedia page associated with the Skinwalker Ranch. Let's go ahead and read this Wikipedia page. Wikipedia, once again, very trusted, very reliable source of information. And let's go ahead and read here. You can read along. Skinwalker Ranch, also known as Sherman Ranch, is a property located on approximately 512 acres southwest of Ballard, Utah, that is reputed to be the site of paranormal and UFO-related activities. Its name is taken from the Skinwalker of Navajo legend concerning vengeful shamans. All right, let's go to the background. UFO reports in the Utah Basin were publicized during the 1970s. Claims about the ranch first appeared in 1996 in the Salt Lake City, Utah Desert News, and later the alternative weekly Las Vegas Mercury, as a series of articles by investigative journalist George Knapp, or just George Knapp, I'm not sure. These early stories detailed the claims of a family that allegedly experienced inexplicable and frightening events after they purchased and occupied the property. And let's continue here. Colm Kellefer and co-author George Knapp subsequently authored a book in which they described the ranch being acquired by the National Institute for Discovery Science, NIDSCI, to study anecdotal sightings of UFOs, Bigfoot-like creatures, crop circles, glowing orbs, and poltergeist activity reported by its former owners. Wow. All right. Paranormal reputation. The ranch, located in West Utah County, bordering UTE Indian Reservation, was popularly dubbed the UFO Ranch due to its ostensible 50-year history of odd events said to have taken place there. According to Collier and Knapp, they saw or investigated evidence of close to 100 incidences that include vanishing and mutilated cattle, sightings of unidentified flying objects or orbs, large animals with piercing red eyes that they say were unscathed when struck by bullets, and invisible objects emanating destructive magnetic fields. Among those involved were retired U.S. Colonel John B. Alexander, who characterized the NIDSCI effort as an attempt to get hard data using a standard scientific approach. However, the investigators admitted to difficulty obtaining evidence consistent with the scientific publication. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Skinwalker Ranch. A lot of celebrities have also claimed to have visited the Skinwalker Ranch, including Joe Rogan, Post Malone, and others. And this is a very popular site for UFO sightings, paranormal activity, and sighting different alien creatures. And so there you go, the Skinwalker Ranch. If you haven't heard of it, I suggest you look into it, do some studying, do some research. It's very interesting, very thought-provoking, very intriguing. So ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Let's go ahead and move on now to the next slide that we have here. And this is the 2009 Norwegian spiral anomaly. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not aware, in 2009, over the skies of Norway, there was a weird phenomenon that happened in the skies. There was a spiral-shaped vortex that opened up with a black hole actually happening after that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this was a very weird, very strange sighting that happened in the skies of Norway in 2009. There were several people that had cameras and cell phones, and bloggers captured images of said event. And this is the Wikipedia page talking about the 2009 Norwegian spiral anomaly. So let's go ahead and read a little bit of this here. The Norwegian spiral anomaly of 2009 appeared in the night sky over Norway. It was visible from and photographed from northern Norway and Sweden. The spiral consisted of a blue beam of light with grayish spiral emanating from one end of it. The light could be seen in all of Trøndelag to the south and all across the three northern countries which compose northern Norway, as well as from northern Sweden. It lasted for 10 minutes. According to sources, it looked like a blue light coming from behind a mountain, stopping in midair and starting to spiral outwards. A similar, though less spectacular event had also occurred in Norway the month before. Both events had visual features of failed lights of Russian RSM-56 Bulva SLBMs. The Russian Defense Ministry said shortly after that such event had taken place on December 9th. So, the Russian military is attempting to claim responsibility for this strange spiral light anomaly that happened over the skies of Norway. Although, when you see the photographs and you see the video that I'm going to show you, I think it will become very apparent that this is not some type of military missile training exercise. This was some kind of weird paranormal or alien occurrence, and it is thought that this was a portal or a wormhole that was opened up in the sky for alien craft to travel through, to and from, out and in from this black hole or this wormhole that was opened up in the sky. And this is a publicly known about event. This is not something that is science fiction. This is a real documented event that was talked about on several news stations. And there is many different video footage snippets across the internet that you can find that people on the ground took themselves with their camcorders or with their cell phones in 2009. And so this is very interesting, very intriguing. Let's go ahead and look at the images. So there you go. When you just Google 2009 Norwegian spiral anomaly, this is what comes up. And look at these several different images here. I mean, look at this. This is the black hole. This is when it started to form, and there's just like a spiral going on there. And there's a blue light emanating from the earth from behind a mountain. So this is very odd, very strange. I don't know what this is. I am just presenting you with information that I've researched and found online. So let's go ahead and go to a video of this occurrence of the Norwegian sky of 2009. And let's go full screen here. And let's play this video.
A blue light, small at first, growing into a spiral, and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole. In the northern community of Trøndelag and on a Norwegian military base, cell phones snapped, video cameras rolled, and bloggers got busy.
A spiral of light moving, and then
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, a weird spiral light that seems to have appeared out of nowhere in the skies of Norway back in 2009. A lot of people who study ufology have came across this information on the internet, and it was claimed to be a Russian military missile training exercise by the Russian military and the Russian government. But obviously, just by seeing that, you can tell that's not some type of missile. That is some type of anomaly that is occurring in the sky. Maybe it's a wormhole, maybe it's a black hole, maybe it's just a hologram, I don't know. It does look to be several miles in diameter, several miles wide. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the 2009 Norway anomaly in the skies spiral light formation. All right, so let's go ahead and move on now to the next slide here on the Austin Parry Show, episode 54. All right, here we have an article that we're going to talk about and to discuss, and this is a news article from ABC News. And the title of this article is Psychic Spies, Any Truth in Men Who Stare at Goats? And let's go ahead and read a little bit of this article here. It was 1983, and he was working as a Middle East analyst at Fort Meade when a fellow intelligence officer approached him with a highly classified so-called Black Project. They couldn't tell him what it was. They just said that as an intelligent, accomplished, open-minded, and creative person, he fit the profile. Intrigued, Smith agreed to take the test thrown at him. And when the results confirmed his competence for the top-secret task, he was invited to try his hand at a new mission, to uncover details about places and activities around the world without stepping off a U.S. military base. We're basically asking you to become a psychic spy, Smith, now retired, said he was told. At first, the skeptic in him resisted, but when the recruiter revealed that the military was actually funding an ESP-type program, he thought, there's got to be something to it. At that point, I had to know what there was to it. For 7 years, Smith took part in a congressionally funded program focused on training officers in remote viewing or paranormal skill that supposedly allows a person to see a target despite the restrictions of space or time. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That is from abcnews.com. That is an article talking about how they are allegedly funding different types of black budget programs where they are training super soldiers to have ESP remote viewing psychic capabilities. And so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, abcnews.com. Let's go ahead and move on to the next slide here on the Austin Parry Show on this Monday, July 26, 2021, episode 54. And this is Mike Lindell's Cyber Symposium, scheduled for August 10th, 11th, and 12th in Sioux Falls. This is an article, ladies and gentlemen, from Communities Digital News, CDN. And this is a news article talking about Mike Lindell, who is an avid Trump supporter and who is committed to exposing all of the alleged voter fraud and election fraud that happened during the 2020 election. Mike Lindell, the founder of and CEO of the MyPillow company, has came out and made an announcement that he is going to have an event, which is going to be what he calls a cyber symposium, where he is going to have several different cyber experts from around the world, which are going to be presenting evidence over the course of several days. Is going to be a several-day presentation. And he is also going to have many different prominent politicians, including congressional representatives, senators, and governors and mayors, as well as several different media and news people are going to be there. And he says that he is going to drop the hammer and release all of the information pertaining to the election and voter fraud that happened when he says the election was stolen from Trump and when Biden cheated during the 2020 presidential election. And so let's go ahead and read some of this article here. South Dakota. Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow, announced his cyber symposium on election fraud in the 2020 election is being held in the Republican stronghold of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Lindell promises his cyber symposium will be the definite answer to election fraud. Cybersecurity experts from at least 6 other countries will attend the August 10th through 12th event. Lindell firmly believes that Trump will be reinstated as president via one of the 3 legal avenues. Lindell made his announcement on Steve Bannon's War Room podcast Saturday, July 3rd. Mike Lindell claims he will be revealing evidence of election fraud that will lead to former President Donald Trump's perceived loss last November. Lindell claims, in truth, Trump beat Biden 80 million to 68 million votes among registered legitimate votes. Lindell says the specific venue will be released at a future date. However, he has reserved ample hotel rooms all around the area to house cybersecurity experts, politicians, and members of the news media. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is Mike Lindell, founder and CEO of the MyPillow company, avid Trump supporter, who is committed to exposing the election and voter fraud that allegedly happened during the last election, the 2020 presidential election, when he claims that the election was stolen from Trump and Biden cheated. And so he has assembled a group of people, including cyber experts, politicians, and people from the news media, who are all going to attend this multiple-day event in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where is going to be a multiple-day presentation where he says such overwhelming evidence will be presented about the election and voter fraud that the American people will demand that Biden be taken out of the presidency and Trump be reinstated as president. So we will see what happens there. That is very interesting, very intriguing. We will definitely keep our eyes on that situation. And we will definitely be reporting on that here on the Austin Parry Show. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, that's from Communities Digital News. Let's go ahead and move on now to the next slide here on the Austin Parry Show on this episode 54 edition. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk a little bit about Velociraptors. Yes, that's right, the dinosaur Velociraptor. You all know about this from the popular movies Jurassic Park. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that I think it is very possible that in these DUMBs, these deep underground military bases and deep underground military facilities, they are actually recreating Velociraptors as biological experiments. And in the movies, they kind of do this as well. What I'm telling you that I think is actually going on in real life, well, in the movies, what they're doing is they are normalizing this idea in your head. They are hiding the truth in plain sight, so to speak. They are desensitizing you to the idea. So when you are in a safe environment in the movie theater, eating your Milk Duds, eating your popcorn, drinking your 32-ounce Coca-Cola, you feel safe. And when you are presented with this idea in the movie of velociraptors and other dinosaurs being created from DNA in a laboratory, you have this imprinted on your brain, and so you are already used to the idea, so it normalizes it in your head. And so later on down the road, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, when they actually come out and tell the public that, oh yes, we are actually creating velociraptors in underground military facilities, you're not so freaked out by the idea. You don't have such a violent reaction to the news that's being presented to you, because you've already been normalized to the idea. It's already been imprinted on your brain. They've already told you what's going on, hiding the truth in plain sight through cinema, through Hollywood, through the movies. And so I think it's very possible that in deep underground military facilities, they are already creating velociraptor-like creatures, if not exactly like velociraptors. Reptilian creatures. They're doing all kinds of biological experiments. Just look up chimeras, look up gene editing, look up the CRISPR machine. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They're creating clones. This is all admitted. And so I think it's very possible and very probable that they're actually creating velociraptors in deep underground military facilities in these top secret classified black budget projects that the government and military is carrying out. And beyond that, not only is it possible for them to create a velociraptor reptilian-like creature that they could train to be an attack dinosaur, just like an attack German Shepherd, but I think it's very possible that they could create a highly intelligent velociraptor which can understand English, which can have advanced problem-solving skills, and which could potentially have like a 150 IQ, especially if you consider the idea that a lot of people believe that there are already aliens among us and they are working with high-level military and governmental officials, giving them secret classified advanced technologies. They could definitely create a velociraptor with very high intelligence. Even though it has potentially a small brain cavity, it could have a very advanced brain within that small brain cavity. I mean, it's possible. Nothing is beyond the realm of possibilities when you consider that aliens are aiding top US scientists and top military scientists. We're not in Kansas anymore. Anything is possible, anything goes. And so I think it's very possible and probable that they have advanced intelligence within a velociraptor body. And so this is potentially what the reptilians could be, the reptilian aliens. They could just be very smart velociraptors running around with holographic skin and cloaking devices. I mean, who's to say? But that is very possible, and these are the things that I like to talk about here on the Austin Parry Show. I like to get you to think outside the box, present you with different ideas. We talk about current events, politics, advanced technology, aliens, news, and so this kind of falls under the topic of advanced technology and aliens. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's very possible and probable that in deep underground military facilities where they have secret labs, they've created these biological experiments where they have super advanced intelligent velociraptors. I'm just saying. And so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and move on now to the next slide. All right, and we're going to end the show now with a bit of comedic relief. This is the installed puppet president, the fake president, Joe Biden, Joe China, Beijing Joe as they call him. And he is experiencing severe cognitive decline, severe Alzheimer's and dementia. He has essentially lost his marbles, as they say. And this is him at a town hall speaking engagement with Don Lemon from CNN, where he cannot string two words together. He can't form sentences. He can't think. He's basically losing his mind. This is advanced dementia. And he's already admitted to having brain surgery in the past. When he was doing a speaking event at a university talking to students, he explained how he had a blood clot on the bottom of his brain, and the surgeons literally had to cut his skull, the top of the skull off, take the brain out to get to the blood clot at the bottom of the brain, and then they put the brain back in and then put the skull back on and sewed him back up. He admitted to this. He's admitted to having brain surgery. And so is that because, is this cognitive decline because of complications due to the brain surgery? I don't know. Is this just naturally occurring cognitive decline? It could be. But this is one of the worst gaffes that I've seen out of Biden. I mean, he is really at the point where he just can't even talk anymore. He can't form sentences. And so let's go ahead and watch this video of Joe Biden really gaffing bad here at this town hall speaking event with Don Lemon. Let's go ahead and go full screen here. And let's watch this.
Just like the other question that's illogical, and I've heard you speak about it because you always, I'm not being solicitous, but you're always straight up about what you're doing. And the question is whether or not we should be in a position where you are, why can't the experts say, we know that this virus is in fact, is going to be, or excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved, but permanently approved.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That was Joe Biden really struggling to speak there. He can't really think. His mind is slipping all the time. The words just aren't coming out. That is what you call extreme dementia. He's getting really old. He's up there. I think he's like 78 or 79 now, almost 80. And he should probably be in an old folks home, not running the United States of America, not the most powerful person in the whole world, the president of the United States. I mean, it is laughable. And this is just one example. There's countless examples like this of Joe Biden just gaffe after gaffe, fumbling his words. Looks like he's got a mouthful of marbles. He can't speak. He just can't get it out. He can't form the sentences. He can't form the thoughts in his head so that he can speak the words that he's thinking. I mean, it's really sad, but at the same time, it's kind of funny, but it's just really bad. And so there you go. That is Beijing Joe, aka Joe China, failing to speak and form sentences at a speaking engagement with Don Lemon from CNN. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you found that as funny as I did, because when I first saw that, I laughed really hard. And all right, that is the show for today. Let's go ahead and go back to this screen here. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this was the Austin Parry Show here on this Monday, July 26, 2021, episode 54 edition. I hope that I helped you to think outside of the box a little bit. I hope that I brought you some ideas that you might not have otherwise thought about. And here on the Austin Parry Show, we talk about current events, politics, culture, news, advanced technology, and aliens. And here on the Austin Parry Show is where we strive for expanded consciousness and enlightenment. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to encourage everyone, please visit my website, which is austinparry.org, and that's AustinParry.org, austinparry.org. Check it out, take a look. I think you'll really like my website. It's constantly evolving. I'm constantly changing it. I'm constantly making it better. That is where you can find artwork for sale. That is where you can find merchandise for sale. And that is, most importantly, where you can make a donation to support the Austin Parry Show. If you like the content that I'm bringing you, if you like the reporting that I'm doing, please support the show. Go to austinparry.org, find the donation link, and leave a contribution that will really help to support my video content into the future. I am 100% supported by you, the viewers and the listeners. I am just a grassroots patriot journalist. I am not supported by big tech or big pharmaceutical companies or the government. I don't take payouts from Bill Gates or Anthony Fauci or any of these other billionaires. And so your contributions are what is keeping me on the air, ladies and gentlemen. So if you like the show, please go to austinparry.org, make a donation, and I will be very grateful for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this was the Austin Parry Show here on this Monday, July 26, 2021, episode 54 edition. I hope you liked the show, and I will see you next time, which will be episode 55. So stay tuned for that, and everyone have a great night. I will see you next time. Love and peace, and goodbye.